Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the morning debrief for March the 16th. The current time is 8:30. Looks like the Dow has closed up after being down for most of the night. Quite a positive actual close. Had some reasonable data. Also a little bit of moving and shaking in the oil market, and obviously a little bit of concern, particularly in India and China, as they look to slow down their economies. And that caused a little bit of consternation in some of the commodity prices, in particular oil and copper, which slipped back. But also on the back of that, as a result of that, a little bit of inflationary pressures, which actually helped gold. So quite an interesting mover. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the markets. Okay, as you can see there, the Dow, let's go to the Dow there. The Dow's up 17 points, closed up 17 at 10,642. The S&P was up 1, and the Nasdaq managed to etch out a small gain of 0.75. I guess overall the major news we had there for the Dow, in my mind, really had to do with some of the numbers. That IP data, which is just down the bottom here, where is it? No, it's not. IP data came out, which was relatively positive, and that's the 8th straight positive reading we had from that. Also, manufacturing in New York was relatively positive as well, and that sort of helped the Dow. A couple of interesting things are occurring at the moment, particularly with the UK and America, and that has to do with their AAA rating, and it looks like that is in question at the moment. Now, that hasn't caused a sell-off in anything, so I think it's just hearsay market rumours that the market is talking about it, because you would expect some form of a sell-off in equities. But that re-rating, I think, is very important, and I think if anything there, let's stay close to the market to see if anything does occur. Local market, as a result of last night, also closed a little bit lower as well. Okay, let's just have a look at some of the markets, some of the trades, some of the trends we've been following, and here we go now. Okay, dollar index, quite an interesting move last night, and when you look at it, we had a bit of a volatile session, and as you can see, this sort of move is in itself just a move that is conciliatory, and if anything there, we can actually see it start to trade on a little bit higher. But as you can see, 79.70 was the low, and on a break of that low down, then we will see dollar weakness. But it actually looks like it's holding up here, and I think to me that is quite important. Just having a quick look at the Aussie. The Aussie 91.43 on the daily close. The hourly trade last night was quite volatile, and if anything there, back to 91.20. I think the market will try and buy it. We had a good bounce off that 91, and I think in my mind the market is getting itself set up for a little bit of a move. But we have no trend at the moment, and that's what makes it a little bit hard. On the euro, we're currently long 136. A big move last night. Looked very strong last night too, but then for most of the session she peeled back. A little bit of a low there. I'm still long and quite happy to hold. All right, let's have a look at some of the commodities now. And crude had a big night last night. Crude in itself fell down again. That was a continuation move, but it held up around that 79.20, quite positive. Copper peeled back. That is expected. We're small long copper at the moment because we feel that this is just a little bit of an aberration at the moment in the pricing, particularly when China's saying they're going to slow down in India. Well, that's going to affect copper. It just has to. But let's see how that. We are still long there. Having a look at some of the quick softs there, and just a quick move on some of the soft. You can see that with wheat sort of had a round coast night, but still within those ranges. Might come back a little bit, but we still like it. Now, how has that affected the local market? The local market in itself last night was under pressure. In fact, we're staying below that 4,800, and to me that is a little bit of a concern. But we did get that little bounce towards the close last night, so it will be quite interesting to see what happens. In fact, I would not be surprised to see it actually head back through that 4,800 sometime today. But anyway, time will tell on that. Right, in terms of the economic numbers, what do we have coming out? The FOMC rate meeting is the most important tonight. Is expected to keep everything unchanged. Interest rates to stay at 0.25%. We've also got the ABC consumer confidence there as well, so quite important. So they're probably the most important things to focus on tonight, which is that FOMC. Let's have a look and see what the wording is, because I think that's going to be very important as to how we're going to perceive the direction I suspect while unemployment remains high, that you will probably expect to see that interest rates will remain low, and I think that's the key. So expect that to occur. Of the trades we've got on at the moment, we're long sugar. We've reduced some of our position on that. We hopefully feel there's a low coming very close there because it's been a volatile market. We're also long the euro and a small position on copper. Also, just have a quick look at gold too, because I like that double bottom from last night around that 1101. So given that there's a little bit of talk about inflation, perhaps it's something to look at. Buy on a dip with a stop just below 1100. Well, that's about it from us. Hope you have a good day's trading, and we'll try and talk to you tomorrow. Cheers.